Used to. Doesn't mean you wouldn't say about my piano.
Okay, folks, it is 6:02 on February the 10th at 6 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the Meyersdale Borough Council. We'll start with the flag ceremony, and our solicitor will give the opening prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, may you watch over this council tonight. May they make decisions that are pleasing to you, Lord, that promote this borough. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mark.
You thank you.
Okay, before the roll call, Mayor Shane texted me he's under the weather. He will not be here tonight. Ron Ackerman is tuning in. He's under the weather, but he's on the telephone, so we'll count him. Patty, go ahead with the roll call. And
Mr. Ackerman. Here. Mr. Bear. Here. Mr. Christner.
Here.
Mrs. Nagy. Here. Mr. Irwin.
Here.
Mr. Runyon.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Solicitor Valentine.
Here.
Mayor Smith is absent. Olivia Baker is absent. There's no police. And Brian Lyon.
Here.
Thank you, Patty. We'll get started here. We had one set of minutes. It was from January the 5th, 2026, and this was our reorganizational meeting. I had gone through them, read the minutes, and could not find any concerns or corrections necessary, but let's discuss the minutes and see if anybody found any errors that Patty made.
On page 2, under committee reports number 3, we would invite Steve Spokehart and Michelle Beener to a future meeting.
Yeah, it was, we were talking about Senator Stefano, and it was just, so we'll correct that. Any other corrections? Okay, I'll ask for a motion that we approve the minutes then, please, from January the 5th.
I'll make that motion.
Clarence and Tom seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Ron. That's unanimous. Mr. Bear will do the finances. We'll probably start with our auditor. She's prepared to give us a report. Correct?
Okay.
So take it away.
I'm Kyla Fritz with Beer Company, and I'm going to do a presentation here of your 2025 audit. This audit was done to satisfy your financial reporting requirements of the PA DCD. Council members, you do have the financial statements in front of you. So as I'm going through here, I'll just reference where we're at in the packet there. Starting on page 1 is our auditor's report. We start with identifying the financial statements, the funds that were audited. That is your general fund, your special revenue fund, your enterprise fund, which is the refuse activity, and then the trust and agency fund, which is your Somerset Trust Police Pension Fund. And then your opinions then follow this. And as I've stated in the past, on previous audits, you do have a qualification regarding the omission of your PEMERS pension fund. That information is not available to be included in your financial statements. So that omission does result in the qualified opinion. You then received clean, unmodified opinions on all the other funds. I'll just mention here on page 2 under basis of accounting. This paragraph is informative to let you know the differences in your financial reporting under the prescribed regulatory basis of the DCD report as opposed to accounting principles generally accepted in the United States. The most significant of those are that you don't capitalize your fixed assets, you don't report your notes payable on the balance sheet on the face of those, as well as there's no note disclosures. And then the following paragraphs just go on to state our responsibilities as the auditor, as well as yours as management. Okay, page 4 then starts your financials with the balance sheet. And again, this is in a single year format. So I did go ahead And I looked at your previous report, the 2024 report, and I've noted here a couple areas that I'll point out on your balance sheet and profit and loss as far as some of the comparisons between the 2 years, just to help you look to see how the year went. Total assets for the year did decrease by about 123,000. So you reported total assets at the end of 25 of $1.3 million. The decrease there is going to be a decrease in your cash. And that should have been expected with your window replacement project that you had in 2025. Liabilities were pretty comparable. They went up slightly, about $5,200. And that's just mostly going to be due to timing of when your invoices and payments happen near the end of the year. The fund balance then at the end of this balance sheet here on page 5, in total went down $128,000, and that's going to be representing your net loss for the year. We're going to see this here in more detail between your revenues and expenditures. Okay, then your profit and loss starts on page 6, and it's the next 4 or so pages. In total, total revenue, which is reported on page 10, did a decrease about $41,000 for the year. And those of you who have been on council before and seen these reports, so it's broken up into main categories. Again, I just kind of looked through, compared the 2 years. Some areas that, nothing was huge, honestly, in the revenue section between the 2 years. You did have an increase a little bit in your taxes that you received, and that was from some delinquent real estate taxes, more so received in 25 compared to the previous year. And then the following areas, there were decreases. Again, nothing significant. You had a decrease in your interest and revenue, interest and rent revenue. You had a decrease in your charges for services collections, as well as a decrease in your state funding. I think that's one page. That starts on page 7. And that was a decrease that you received in your pension aid from the previous year. Okay, then total expenses begin on page 10. Again, there's several pages of different categories of expenditures. Total expenditures are listed on page 14. In total, your expenses increased from the previous year about $16,000. Again, looking at the categories, the very first one under general government. So this is where you're going to see a significant increase compared to the prior year. That category alone went up about $166,000. And this is because of your window project. That was $163,000 that you spent on the windows. There was a decrease then, significant decrease. So you had an increase in that area. And then you had a decrease in your public works spending. That was from a resurfacing project that you completed in 2024. You didn't have any projects like that you did in 2025. And then another area that I noted a little bit of an increase, and that was in your public safety, and that was related to fire and police categories there. Okay, so I gave you those numbers in total. These are reported. You'll see there's the categories. As I mentioned, the different funds that we audited, your general fund, your special revenue, enterprise, and then the Somerset Trust pension. So at the very bottom of page 14, you're going to see in each of those different categories your net profit or loss. And then in total for the year is that number I referenced earlier, a net loss for the year of $128,000. Okay, the next page, page 15, although you don't record your loans on the balance sheet themselves, there is a debt statement this year. It's informational purposes. So at the end of 2024, you had the 2 loans. You had Somerset Fund, First National Bank loan. The Somerset Trust loan was paid in full during the year. And in your First National Bank, those payments were made according to your payment schedules. And so at the end of 2025, you have a total of $18,000, $18,579 owed on that loan. Okay, so those are the numbers I wanted to point out. The other remaining item here is just to mention, this is a separately issued letter to management regarding any deficiencies, findings that we noted during our audit. And we only have 2. These are the same areas that I've noted before. These deficiencies are determined by us to be referred to as a material weakness. Like I said, these are the same areas that you had before. The first one is in regards to the lack of segregation of duties. And as I always mention to you, that is typical in an entity of your size, just because it's not feasible to necessarily hire the required personnel you'd have to have this, like the segregation of duties. And then the second one is the fact that there's nobody within the borough to prepare these financial statements. And preparing these, we have entries that we do to adjust from the cash basis to the accrual, and then we put the numbers in the DCD report. So that our involvement with that is considered to be a finding. Again, this is a common one. Almost all of my audit clients have this finding simply because most entities don't have CPAs on staff to do such work. That's all I have. If anybody, yes, Karen?
459, all other culture and recreation, it says under special revenue, 26,496. What is that? Page 13, 459.
So I'm thinking that's probably, Patty, if you would know, would these be contributions? Maybe contributions received?
It's an expenditure.
Oh, expenditure, I'm sorry.
Which one was it?
459.
Page 13?
Mhm.
These numbers are really small.
It's the top section under culture and recreation.
So that's the liquid fuel fund, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that exactly? The
So this
expenditure?
would have been, I'm looking at the detail here. So that is comprised of like what you spent for your fireworks, the $13,000 spent on fireworks. And then the Christmas lights, you spent about $12,000 on Christmas lights.
So that's why it says special revenue, including the statement. Okay.
Okay, so it's
So
grant,
that's a
grant.
grant.
and-
But we didn't use any state fuel funds for that amount.
No, but
That was all.
it's special revenue, including that.
Yeah,
Right.
special revenue. So special revenue is your liquid fuels and then plus all the other activity that I didn't, mention earlier as far as general fund,
It's just like
fund and revenues. So,
Correct.
So like the donation funds go into that, is that?
yes, yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of your checking accounts are going to be comprised that go into that special revenue category.
Any other questions? Karen, did you have any comments? You had requested a lot of information from Patty last summer, 250 pages, about 40 hours worth of work. You were going to do a deep audit. Do you have anything you'd like to say? What have you found out with your deep audit that you've done?
I'm still working through that. I'm still going through it all. We've spent hours and hours and hours on it.
So nothing sticks out yet. Any other questions? Could we have a motion to accept our auditor's report? Okay, Rob and Clarence? Clarence nodded a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Ron. Votes aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much. We tried to get you in and out as quickly as we could, so we appreciate your effort. And we'll look for the bill.
All right, thank you so much.
It's right here.
We have, how much is
I
it?
found it.
$8,300.
That's 83. That's about what it was last year.
Yeah, it was same thing as last time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Clarence, take it over, your finance committee.
Okay, under general fund, $42,710.45. Monthly bills total, $100,980. $1,980.92, sorry. Highway 8 fund, $97,329.76. Flood control, $76,677.81. Refuge, $43,006.03. Total monthly total, $17,022.31. We can do that. Let's skip over that. Okay, gas well. Access fee, $2,789.88. General funds, $66,106.69. Grants, this would be the return, am I correct?
It's the ARPA.
Yeah, the return from the windows, $13,539.09. And the building fundraiser, $1,897.87. That's not it. I didn't go with some of the small stuff, like a league and little stuff, so.
Did you want to give the bills too? And then, I don't know if you have to read every one, just give the amount and then we can make a motion to accept both the financial report and the bills. If there's anyone that stands out that you want to mention, Clarence, that would be fine. In fact, I'm trying to find them here too. Oh, here they are.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just looking on my sheet.
Wow, that's small.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If I can help you out here, Clarence, it was $1,980.92. It's on this sheet right here on the second page. Clarence is new at this, so he'll have it next time. Police vehicle payment, credit card purchases, they're itemized. I signed some of these checks today. Did you find it there, Clarence?
Yeah, but that's about as fine print as you can get.
Yes, go ahead. Sure, of course.
Hey Patty, the court reporter, we never got the actual transcript. Did you ever get a copy? Did you get it? Okay, she never said
I
to me.
mailed it out.
Okay, all right. You're good. I was just making sure if you got the bill, it was hopefully we got the transcript. Okay. That's all I cared about.
So could we have a motion to accept the bills and Clarence's financial statement?
I'll make that.
Okay,
I'll say.
we'll give it to Jeff and Tom. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Go ahead, Clarence, you have more items under your list. Ambulance cost.
Let's go back to your agenda.
Okay. Ambulance cost shared, payment of $10,828.66. Emergency management, $1,000. Meyersdale Fire Department,
Are we gonna vote on these one at a time?
You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do one at a time.
all gonna vote one at a
Yeah.
time? Okay, well, let's start out with the Ambulance Association.
I'll make that motion. Karen seconded.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? That's unanimous.
Emergency management, $1,000.
That's Kevin's fee. Karen makes a motion, we pay that. Tom seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Meyersdale Fire Department, $1,000.
I have a question about that. Okay, so how much do we, I'm concerned about the amount. I think we gave them $10,000 last year. We earn so much more interest these days. How much do we pay them to wash down the streets in the spring for the borough prior to the festival?
I think they charge.
Did we make a donation for them handling the flood resource center for 3 weeks after the flood in May? Did we give them a donation of any sort? Do we give them a donation to put up the Christmas lights and take them down? They're paying upwards of, Kevin can tell us, $800 to $1 million for the new fire truck. I just think as a borough, like they are the backbone of this community. And I know we get funds to help them with workers' comp and some other things, but I mean, I think it's shameful to only give them $1,000 once a year. I would like to see that a minimum of $5,000. We have over $300,000 in our savings account. I think we could afford to give them a bigger donation. So my motion would be to amend that and give them $5,000.
I agree.
Okay, are you seconding
Yes,
that?
yes.
Okay, all those in favor of upping the amount for the fire department to $5,000, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, Meyersdale Public Library, $1,000.
Yeah, I'll second that, Karen.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Transfer to general fund flood control account, $10,000.
This is pretty much routine, we use every year, so there's,
Now, these all are after taxes.
right, correct. Except for the first one, the ambulance we're gonna pay now.
Yes.
Okay. So can we have a motion to make that transfer to the flood control fund? Karen and Jeffy, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Electric bills, go ahead, Karen, sorry.
Electric bill,
I have a report on that if I may. All right, so got some good information, spent some time on the phone. We had Zoom was the other company I think that was here talking to us. So I talked to First Energy. We went back and forth a few times, reviewed the most expensive bills. The price to compare to right now is 12.16 cents per kilowatt hour. So we looked at the streetlight bill account number, and there's a computation you can do. Our current price to compare, we're at 6. So we're half what we could be paying. So we're doing good on our kilowatt hours rate. So that's good news. Huh?
Half the lights are off.
I know. So that brings us to our second point. Due to manufacturers shifting production from sodium vapor and other traditional streetlights to LED, non-LED streetlights will no longer be available as of December 31st. So First Energy will convert all company-owned non-LED streetlights to LED streetlights at no cost to customers throughout Pennsylvania over the next 4 years. There's an application we have to fill out. So currently, so bottom line is, if we convert to LED streetlights, I think most in the business district or all are LED. So these just that we put Christmas lights on, basically. So the lifespan would be 50,000 plus hours, greater energy efficiency, brighter illumination to improve public safety, lower street light bills, sharper downward directed light. So what we need to do to prepare for the conversion, we need to sign and return an agreement, decide what lights we want. So we have 178 100-watt HPS wood pole street lights. We have 4,550 HPS wood pole street lights, 400. So we have to decide what we want to change them to, and they made recommendations on all of that. So I can give this all to you. We want to, in advance, identify if there are any street lights that we no longer want that we would remove prior to a conversion. Because once converted, they'll be under a 10-year agreement. Do you know if we have any street lights we wouldn't want? I can't imagine.
I don't. Yeah.
That's what I think. And they can give us 3,000 K or 4,000 K LED streetlights. So we have to tell them if we have a preference. And where that becomes an issue, they've had some customers, I mean, it's a change. It's a bright light. And so, I don't know, we might want to talk about that. But since we can't even buy these other bulbs anymore, and since they'll do the replacement for free, and that will thus save us a lot of money on our street. And I think I looked at the information today. I think we're spending like $40,000 a year on streetlights. Is that about right, Patty?
That's about right, yeah.
So if we have, over 200 that are not, that we're currently being billed for under this account that ends at 4630, that's a lot of lights. So we could really, so I encourage council, and I would make the motion, I can send all this stuff to you, for First Energy, so it's not a third party advising us. I think we ought to sign the agreement. I think we ought to get in line to get everything replaced.
Does the type of light have to be agreed upon when you sign it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Did they make recommendations, by the way?
They do.
According to like the area that the light's in? You know what I mean, like the brightness, I don't know if that was.
Well, they said, like, if you take 100-watt HPS on the wood pole, they would recommend a GE 50-watt LED.
Gotcha.
150 goes to 90, 400 goes to 260.
Is there any cost to us for replacement if one isn't working for a replacement bulb? If the light goes out, we pay to have it fixed,
I
or
don't
do they
think so.
come and pay for it?
No, they come and fix it.
It's theirs.
Cadillac comes and fixes it.
Okay. So if it's
You know,
working-
I think it's time we do this. Bud Edmonds was back on council then, and we went through this about converting them, and certain individuals didn't like the look of them. We had like maybe in Garrett or someplace else, and so we kind of poo-pooed it. But I think lights, these fluorescent lights, you can't get those the old kind anymore. So I think it's time we move forward on this. And if Karen made that as a motion, I would ask for a second.
Yeah, I'll second that. We'll just go with whatever recommendation they have.
Tom seconded, Jeff thirded.
Can we pass this around to
Yep.
Patty?
All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
And Patty, if you email, we got an email from him last week, I think. Is his
What did you
name
say, Ron?
Randy?
Go ahead. Keep going.
I think it's Randy Dar. Let me see. I have his information. He can get you the agreement. His name is Randy Durr, D-U-R-R. He sent us an email last week. He can get us the agreement. And if we can get that signed, and I agree with Tom, I think we go with their recommendations. We might get some static from some people. It's gonna be a big change, but
Since we're talking about streetlights, can
Sure.
so I live on Lower Olinger, and there's 2 streetlights that are out and have been out. Are they, if we go into this agreement, are they not gonna come and repair these 2? I've already called. I've already gave them the pole number and the address. And
if you text me that tomorrow, I will send Randy Durr, our contact at First Energy, a note and tell him we've tried the process and see what he can do.
I mean,
North Street also, right by your place.
yeah, there's a lot of streetlights that are out in town, and we're paying a lot of money for these streetlights,
It's
and
across from Mrs. Christie.
some
Yeah,
of them
she's
aren't
called a
working.
couple times.
A lot of them aren't working.
That would be something to maybe put on our Facebook page and have Julie put it on the community connections. We ask the residents if they have any street lights in town that are out, get the poll number and let us know. And we could report them all at one time, Patty.
So what they need to know, Jeff, is they need to know the number on the pole
Yes.
and the address that it's sitting in front of.
Mhm.
Used to be they wouldn't come unless there was like 10 of them.
So that would be something we could maybe organize to get on Facebook. Okay, anything else on the lights? I guess Clarence, we're up to the PennDOT request for Center Street repairs.
We did say we were gonna pay the electric.
Hmm?
Did we say we were gonna pay the electric?
I think it was just the agreement we were talking about.
Yeah, we approved the electric bills already.
Okay.
You can vote against them, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna be proactive.
That would come get us.
But basically, I think that the state had agreed that they would fix Center Street, the intersection. We would lose the bricks that are kind of engraved into the pavement on each side. They would take care of everything. We would lose those bricks, which aren't really bricks. So they're wearing through in some places. And I think we have to pay to have the light recalibrated if they damage the light, the automatic sensors in the pavement. And that's part of the agreement, which you had indicated to me that we signed that. And they also, either Patty had or PennDOT had a company that we could contact that another borough north of us, maybe North Star or something, that we would have to contract with this group to come and fix the traffic lights that they still work.
Yeah, Cooperick or something like that, that always comes and checks the.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it is, but it's.
So I don't know,
They've had several problems.
I didn't see a problem up there. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's-
you're talking about.
I don't either.
where, the traffic lights,
Yeah.
with the pavement.
Didn't see any big problem there.
There was a pothole further up that we were talking about. I talked to one of the PennDOT workers and they said, well, you know, this isn't the time to fix potholes right now. Brian will tell you. But, well, why don't we do this? If council does not object, let's carry that over, Patty, and let everybody go up and look at Center and Main and see what you think, if it even does need to be repaired at this point. I know they just ran and fixed our traffic light. It was kind of, I can tell a difference as far as the way it changes now. I don't know exactly what they did to it, but it seems like it's green a lot longer on Center Street now, whereas before it wasn't. It was always red.
Patty, it wasn't that long ago that the borough paid to fix that system to fix that light, was it?
I think when Brooke was here and it was like $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah, it was fairly expensive.
But didn't they come and fix something
They did.
in the box just
Yeah, they
a couple months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the one that they had to do that was under the pavement was expensive. That wasn't.
If council is okay with this, let's make it a point to check that area and see if we really think it does in fact need done. And I kind of agree with what Tom's saying. I don't know that it needs to be done, so. Is that okay with everybody? We'll just push that off, Patty, and keep it on the agenda for the March meeting. Everybody's nodding approval. Okay, thanks, Ron. And then I guess the last thing under finances, signers on the bank accounts. Do we have to approve those, Patty? Do we need a vote? Some of them
Yeah.
stay the same.
I want to change the signature cards at the banks, and they're all changing their rules. They have to have in the minutes exactly who you're taking off, who you're putting on. So you'd be taking off Virginia Canarium and Terry Baker, and you'd put on Tom and Clarence, and then Jeff would remain and I would remain as signers.
You can't do that all as one motion.
Yeah. Now, I had gone up to Citizens Bank was there any others I have to sign?
You'll probably have to go into First National and Somerset Trust, but they want the minutes to show that that's.
You know, I think the way they
Yeah.
changed
It's
it
in
now
there.
is you have to sign. Used to be you just, only the additional signers have to sign. I think everybody has to sign again.
Whatever, we'll do what.
Yeah.
So then could we have a motion to approve all these as written on the agenda?
I'll make that. I'll second.
Okay, actually, Ron, Bob made it first and we'll give Ron the second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. Anything else, Clarence, under finance? Okay, guests. We're up to the guests. Garden Club, did I miss something? Garden Club requesting replacement of planter tubs. Come right up here. You have 5 minutes apiece. So ready, go.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Thank you for this time that we could come to your meeting. We're, the ladies and I are here from the Maple City Garden Club. And as a lot of you already know, we plant the flowers in the tubs and the containers on the poles. And we're having a little bit of problems with the tubs. They are not deep enough. They don't hold water. There's not enough soil that we can get a good root base in the flowers. So we're constantly trying to water them. They're not looking very well. They droop and all that good stuff. So we were wondering if the borough, or we're not sure who would be in charge of it, about looking at those tubs. The containers on the poles are fine, but the tubs, they're shallow. And we were wondering if we could maybe get a different liner in them, a deeper liner, or possibility, if it doesn't work that way, a different container altogether. So that's what we were wondering about. And we usually plant our flowers the weekend of Memorial Day weekend. So if we could have something, know something before that, or have something in the works.
Do you have any recommendations? I mean, I think you're the ones that I'd like to ask the garden club to come up with a recommendation.
Okay.
I'm certainly in favor of, because you ladies work hard and they make the town look very nice. We walk the downs by there, they're beautiful. So now I don't, what's the difference between the tub and the container? I thought it was just all one thing that was
The
there.
containers have that much soil in them on each
Okay.
side. They have the depth. Where
Right.
the roots can get down in and they hold the water better. The tubs are probably that deep. They're only like 6 inches. And when we pour the water in, they just kind of just run out of it. It's a hard liner. And it doesn't have the depth where we could get something deep or square, something in a square type thing instead of the round. And they're not quite setting level. So when we pour the water in, it kind of just sloshes out one side, even up on the, at the lights. They're not, I put shims under them to try to level them out a little bit, but they don't sit kind of level. The
And this
water
would-
just sloshes.
This would be something Brian and JR could take the old off and put the new
Well, they
on.
already have, they take them off for us. They take them off as soon as we take the plants out. But we were thinking of a different design if we could get something that has the depth in it to hold the moisture.
How many
In this
are there?
heat, we have 6. 6.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. I suggest you guys just do your investigate and come back and
Okay.
say, oh, we need $200, $300.
Great. Okay, then we will get.
Yeah, I think nobody's gonna argue with it, I don't think.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, this is something that makes the town like, if you could maybe come back in March, we'll put you top of the agenda and have maybe a drawing of what you would like to see, give us a price.
Okay.
And then we can probably just approve it, get the doggone things ordered, so they're here and up for Memorial Day.
Yes, we already have our plants ordered. They're ready to go. And so we're doing everything in red, white, and American flags. So that's what's going to be through town.
Nice.
All right, thank you so much.
What about the other two lovely ladies that are with you? We want to hear
My
a 5
cohorts
minute.
don't want to get up with me.
I have a suggestion about planters, because JR and Brian said that those are in bad shape. And if you want to get new ones built, maybe we can get them done local, and maybe Tim Bittner can build them for you.
If you want me
Yeah.
to, or you
Or we
guys
could, one
could,
of us go with you or whatever. and talk.
whatever you want to do.
Okay, we'll come up with some ideas.
Why don't you come up with some ideas for that also? If we're gonna do it, we might as well do it all.
Okay, very good.
Or Mr. Horn at the school
Yeah.
doing our picnic.
Tech Ed Club. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your interest and all the hard work you put in. You can stay as long as you want. If you want to go watch something on TV, you're welcome to depart, whatever you want to do.
I'm waiting to see what they're talking about on High Street.
Okay, soccer shots, Rebecca Walter. Nobody here with that? Anybody know what she wanted?
They wanted to know about, using the playground for preschool soccer training.
Well, couldn't she just reserve it? We don't have to approve this. Couldn't they just reserve it like they always do? And you take care of it and give them times?
We never did that for like soccer, the field. It's only for the pavilion.
Play in the gyms, anything, I think you've done that before, right?
Yeah, the pavilion and the gym, but
If you're gonna let a private group do it, like for profit, we definitely need a certificate of insurance and stuff.
Yep.
I don't know what the intention is.
Is that the same one that was here last year that used the gym for inclement weather?
I'm not sure.
So this is a private group and this isn't
I
through the
think so. I
school?
think they charge each child $60, $70.
You know what? Let's, if they see this on Facebook or on our video, maybe ask them to contact Patty if they want to move forward with this, or at least come to the next meeting in March. Because we can't do anything tonight with no one here, right?
Right.
Nobody here to move. Okay, public comment.
I already gave mine.
Yeah.
Can you make that up?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, fine.
All right. Bob Spokart. A couple of years ago, I asked to have a mirror placed between Colonial and Dale where it meets at, and on the left-hand side as you're coming out Colonial and you hit Dale, there's a huge parking lot on the left-hand side. So I asked for safety in the borough to have a mirror put up. That was 2 years ago. Is there any progress on acquiring that?
Mark will let you
I
respond, that we
believe
have
that-
ran into some problems as far as,
Well, I think that what we agreed upon, the council did, I'd have to see the minutes, but my recollection is we weren't gonna place it on a Verizon pole because they were a pain, but we were gonna put it on a post. And I think that was last fall, that was agreed to, but I don't know that went any further from ordering it or not. I don't know.
did we order it, Patty?
No, I didn't order any. I
A
don't-
mirror?
I don't know what to buy, you know.
So I would suggest whoever the streets committee is gets together with Brian and they figure out. what-
Okay, should I show you a picture of what could be done on the post?
Sure. Do you have it with you?
Yeah, I shared it with
Yeah, he shared with me.
solicitor back a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, after the meeting, I'll show it to you. Also, if you're coming down from the beverage on Dale, and you're hitting Center Street, you almost have to pull out quite a bit because when you look towards the post office, you can't tell if somebody's pulling, you're gonna pull out in front of somebody. So that would be an excellent location. I don't know anywhere else. My opinion is I'm not sure where else in the borough it's needed, but I know they're not expensive. And if anybody ever got clipped or I understood that there was a kid on a bicycle coming down Dale, and because of the Elks parking lot area being consumed with parking vehicles, and especially around here, pickup trucks are the main vehicle. You can't see up Dale towards the beverage mart. You can't until you pull out. And if anybody ever gets maimed or killed and that thing's not up, and we look back on records where the request was made, that's not gonna look very good for the borough. So, and now is not the time to put in one because of the freezing ice.
Well, but we could order it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
so I'll show you a copy of it, or a picture, I'll pull it up.
Hey, excuse me, I'm here. Ron, he's charged as a street. Mr. Spokart is here and I kind of agree with him. do you think you could get together with Brian and Patty? We have to vote on this and get a mirror ordered, and Brian could put the pole in. They're right at Dale Street, and I guess it's the cross
Colonial.
street, Colonial,
Right on, across.
by
from-
Meagers. There used to be one there.
I think it was already voted on.
Could we move that
Check the minutes.
forward? Ron, maybe that, say tomorrow, you could get together with him, with Mr. Spokart, and get the drawing, get a poll that we need. Let's move forward on this. Is
Yeah.
anybody opposed to that?
I'm pretty sure we already voted on
You only want the one, or he suggested
it.
another?
Yeah, were you talking two or just one?
Drive down from the Beverage Mark on Dale and hit Center Street.
Yeah,
Tell me
I
what-
agree with you on that. I was just asking that you
I'm
are
not
saying two.
involved in understanding the details of street ordinance and public safety, but it is dangerous to go pull it out there too.
So you
So
said
is there one needed there? Who am I supposed to pass on this picture to? And you got.
Well, I would say let's do the one, you, with all due respect, you could make that request for every avenue on Beakley Street. You have to pull up and look. I do agree that we have one problem here, but let's try to get this one done first would be my suggestion. As I said, there's cars parked on Fifth Avenue. It's a challenge to get out onto Beakley Street if you're coming up from Salisbury Street. So when are we gonna stop this? But I do agree that what your suggestion would be a good place. There was one there before. That's just my opinion. Let somebody else speak up, and how do we want to move forward with this?
Thank you.
Sure,
I just remember there was one there before,
there was, yeah.
if you had too many drinks.
But it was-
There's this car hitting towards me.
Thank you, Mr. Spokart, for coming. Let's work on the one right now, and then we can reevaluate. You can always,
Yeah, it's been 2 years, so.
well, did you hear that, Ron? Yes. Brian, let's move forward on it and try to get it ready. What's that? Go ahead.
When do you want to meet tomorrow?
How about after your meeting?
We can do that. Ron won't be here, but that's fine with me.
I can forward you the picture of my smartphone,
Okay.
and you and him discuss it.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's other municipal locations in the world that buy these things, but if we don't know right now where to go.
Yeah, there's different suppliers and designs.
I'm sure you Google it and it'll poof, come up. We just probably have to decide on the size. How big do we want it? But that's for you guys to kind of move us along here a little bit. Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, public comment is closed. The president's report, I have none. Mr. Mayor, as I said, he's under the weather.
He asked me to give his report.
Okay.
Okay, so we need 2 vests. The police officers have both been measured. We just need to approve them moving forward with getting 2 vests. The cost is under $3,000, about $2,900. So if everybody's okay with that, I consider that an operational
So
need.
that is an operation.
So I don't know if we need a
They have
motion.
They have a limited.
It's in their budget. Was somebody gonna donate those or did I misread that?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I've made the request. I followed up with them today. They don't have their reallocation for the new year yet. So we may get a sponsorship for those.
And we didn't get them vests recently? The police,
Oh, I don't remember long.
No, but I know they do have an expiration date.
They do.
I think it's 5 years. I think the camera is 5 years.
So it is.
okay, continue, sorry.
Yeah, so I would make the motion that we allow our 2 officers to order new vests.
A second.
Thank you, Jeff. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
And just so everybody knows, the reason why they are that cost is not only the safety, but they actually size them
That's right.
to the body, yeah. There's some time.
Yeah, it's measurements.
And the fireworks companies, you know, it is our 250th. We want to make sure we have a big display. We're used to having little big shots about 25 minutes. It does pull in a lot of people from neighboring towns. But we wondered, Harbaugh's, was it Harbaugh's that did the light up night? We wondered if we could ask Patty to contact them and see what they might charge us for our Sunday night display for the 4th. I don't know how that falls this
I
year.
think Clarence would be the guy to have contact. He knows Chris. real well.
Did we want to say like
I don't have.
a 45-minute show, or did you want to make it a little bit longer? Is that the point of this?
I think you
Since
said
it's-
a 45-minute show would be 9,000. If we covered the insurance, if he had to get insurance. If he didn't have to get insurance, it'd be 8,000.
We always do it the same.
45 minutes.
I think it would be
Is that little big
June
shots or the hard one?
Hardballs.
Okay.
28th.
There's $1,000 difference there. If we were covering him, it'd be 8,000. If he had to cover himself, it'd be 9,000.
So what was little big shots last year? Was it 10 or 12?
12.
And that was for 25 minutes.
Can you get that in writing?
Mhm.
That they'll- And I think we ought to let them
I
ensure.
mean, you're the chair of that committee,
Oh, yeah.
am I right?
Mhm.
No, you
The
are, Jeff.
mayor.
Would you two work on that and come up with a proposal for the March meeting that we can move forward with?
If we
We
have
said
a-
we'd like to have a nicer, larger show,
The,
maybe 45 minutes.
the mayor does historically handle the fireworks, but they work together with the event.
Right.
The mayor, he sends the letters out, but that's about all he does as far as, we've always had the same outfit. And Patty actually sends all the letters out. He's puts his signature on them, but,
Yeah, they were good.
so, yeah.
I'll be getting around to that soon. It's on my list, things to do.
So if we could put that on the agenda, maybe remove that from under the mayor place and just put it someplace down the agenda on its separate item, fireworks. In fact, actually, you could put it under the community events center. I would say that, the community events committee, Patty, under E. Don't you think, guys?
Yes.
Your chair, Clarence, and Bob Munyon, right? Those are the three that are on
Yeah.
community events. So the three of you could work together and come up with a proposal for us.
We have a meeting 27th, right?
Anything else, Karen, from the mayor? Junior counselor, she's not here. Emergency management coordinator report. Patty, I thought in the past, we went ahead and did do his check like now,
Oh, okay.
as opposed to waiting for the others,
I
just
can do
because, yeah. Last year, didn't we pay you the first of the year? You don't remember?
Yeah.
I think we did. Well, so to differentiate that, so maybe if you could get that, if there's no objection to council, we'll get you paid. Take it away.
First of all, thank you for your support with emergency services, fire department, ambulance, and the police. Goes a long way for the safety of the citizens. I have two items, both informative. For the flood last year, the SBA came in, and we're approaching the deadline, which is the 23rd of February, for the lost support for financial. The SBA had put different dates that are for expiration. That's one that's approaching. That's just informative. The other thing is September this year, the emergency operation plan expires, needs to be renewed. And the reason I'm saying is it's early, it's a large document, and here, you have a chance to read it and go through it and suggest any changes to it, or if it looks good. There's different parts to that. The one's the notification resource manual, is basically everybody's phone numbers and that. So take a look at that, and that's basically all I have. Is there any FEMA training that will be held that you can go to like go through some of these things? So a lot of the training is online. The basic training is I asked courses. You go to the FEMA website, look for independent study courses. It's 100, 300, but yes, there is actually make it kind of short, there is suggested for elected officials what is the basics required. or you can go like me and do all of them as much as you can. There is also in the future coming up, elected officials, symposiums. A lot of information comes through the borough associations and the township associations. But yeah, if you're seeking for a list of them, yeah, I can get them to you. But as far as the in-person, that's more the advanced courses. A lot of courses you can do are all online.
Can I ask you something? The sandbags we have, now I was told if we fill those and let them sit, they'll deteriorate. Is that, they will?
Yeah.
Oh,
They need to stay as dry as they can for as long as they can. And we do have, last time this was like around 1,000 or more, I think.
yeah, we have
Yeah,
quite a
we have
few.
quite a few.
Yeah,
We didn't have, we were working on the issue before it's sand.
Yeah.
And then with that is the people to fill it. And then the recommendations of where it goes. The floods that came through this last time, we didn't have to sandbag, but they were available if needed.
That's the reason I was asking. If there was something sandbag wise that wouldn't deteriorate. We have the prisoners come in and they do odd jobs, so we have the sand. If we could find something that wouldn't deteriorate, that would give them something to do. We could fill them, put them on skids and sit them down there. That way, if we ever did have a major event, go in, pick them up with the skid loader and go.
Yeah, everything I ever looked at is this advanced, it's not to fill in advance. If you try to pick one up, the sand, it's been there a while.
Yeah.
It breaks apart.
It'll break apart. Yeah. There are other devices that are out there that you can buy. The problem is the recommendations on flood control with the Army Corps of Engineers. Their suggestion is sandbags at a certain point and a certain amount. It's all spelled out in the plan.
In fact, I think then we tried to look at alternatives before we redid the last plan, and I don't think that was something.
The sandbed area is the North Street, the bridge. And the issue with that is when they came and looked at it, the guardrails was suggested to be removed. And then we basically stalled at that point is what we were gonna do with the bridge in the first place.
Yeah. Because they wanted to put the bank all the way across the road.
Yeah.
Have we heard anything more about the North Street Bridge from the commissioners? I'll have to ask them about that.
The other concern that's coming up is the ice. If the ice melts normally on the river, we have no issues, but if it melts really quick, we can look out for ice jams. Last year, we did have a large ice jam down toward Pete Brink that broke up and went down. All the ways ice jam webinars I've been to is you can try to bust them up, but that creates more of a problem and create more liability. So we just hope that it melts in the normal way. But with all flooding, is looking into what we've done over the past. Whenever we start getting large amounts of rain, the fire department's already out there looking at the river and has a very good handle on it. Every time it rains heavy, I go down and look at the bridges and stuff. So early warning is out there. The county does a good job of putting advanced information out in case it would flood, but other than that, my report.
Any questions of Kevin? Kevin, thanks for all you do. You're doing a good job for us, and we'll get you paid here in a week or two. Mr. Solicitor.
So I have a few things on here. The first thing I want to start with is the 326 Salisbury Street. I sent out, and I believe Patty included as part of your packet, the settlement statement. You're going to see the updated amount of taxes that are owing county, township, or county, borough, and school for each year to date. You're going to see the other fees that we are required to recover in the order that we're required to be recovered into under the statute. As you'll see, the total amount of cost involved that is allowed to be allocated to that is approximately $25,943.48. Mind you, that also includes the cost of demolition and the removal of the trees on that property. The demolition itself was actually around $12,000, and the difference in that is for the trees. The reason why the trees came down, not only the proximity to the house, but with their root system that they were gonna tumble. It was the health and safety issue that needed to be dealt with. The county was willing to front those costs. That being said, the order of recovery is listed. I'm just asking for a motion to approve that. And that we can then move forward and have the judge sign off on it, and give the order so that it can be dispersed and closed.
Karen makes a motion, Jeff seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
So on 618, it's actually listed as 622 Grant. It shows up as Hill Street also. But those two properties, as you recall, you awarded to Chris Arnold, and we are setting the closing date for that. I had to do a little bit of background work on that through the authority to make sure that those were actually capped the way they were supposed to be when it was demolished. The same thing is true with 326. The same thing will occur with 221 Salisbury Street. That is ready to go forward. The 351 Myers Avenue, I did reach out to the gentleman that was the highest bidder on that. What I have come to the conclusion on is to save everybody the time and the hassle of surveying, is to lay out the right of way in the deed, and the fact that the one roadway, which is an extension of Clay Street, which is what that alley is that goes along Myers, and then just use the language of that connector to Myers Avenue. And that will save us having to do a subdivision for that purpose. My understanding is without the subdivision, they're willing to close on it. They were the highest responsible bidder. And they're the only one, just so we can all know that didn't have additional restrictions on their bid. What I mean by that is the other bidders had restrictions written into their bid that they required the borough to do. So that being said, I would recommend that, I believe it is Mr. Gallagher, be awarded that bid as the highest responsible bidder at $3,500.
Mark, I'm glad to hear you say this, and I would just say that I was opposed to council having to have it surveyed and start that, the situation where we make a set a precedent. But if you've been able to get him that he's gonna agree, we just set the right of way to the road. I think that's a win-win situation for everybody.
The
But I don't-
difference,
Go ahead.
the difference truly is Clay Street was never actually closed. The alley that was placed, last year, the year before, when we put the, yes, that road was never actually closed.
Correct.
And, which is odd, but that being said, that's actually a benefit for us because we don't have to go through the whole process of opening it, having it surveyed and resetting the boundary and all those things.
So you heard our solicitor suggest that we do accept this bid with the provisions that he's spoken of.
Chad's good with all of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
What'd you say,
I
Karen?
will get the final because he, before the deed is actually submitted, that's when it goes to him. Yeah, but I don't see it as an issue. Because we're not actually dividing the.
Motion,
I got a question. What is
Go
that gonna cost us? Because I seen this here was sold for 12,000 and cost us 25,000.
Well, we already tore down that
Really
property.
did.
That's something.
Yeah, that property, the demolition of the structure was done by the county.
I mean, this Myers Avenue.
Yes,
What's that gonna cost us?
just my time and it probably like $150, $200.
$3,500.
Yeah. All the expenses already been done on that. That was demolished, what, 2018,
Not many years.
maybe 17?
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones that the county fund was used towards. And they paid, I think that was over $25,000 to demolish. In fact, that one was a struggle because it was a foreclosure and a blighted property.
okay, any other questions on this? Tom had a very good question. Jeff, Karen, have a motion, a question?
Question. So the 221 Salisbury Street, we had said in January, we wanted to try to have it down in 60 days. So they did the fraudulent transfer.
Correct.
So they're in violation of the municipal authority
Whoa,
rules too.
whoa. Before we get to that, let's do the Myers Avenue.
Okay.
We have to approve that first. Okay? Could we have a motion then to move forward with the sale as Mark had suggested and go ahead and sell the,
351
Okay.
Myers Avenue.
and a second. Tom seconds it. All those,
Karen.
Karen and Tom, that we go ahead and move forward and grant the Myers Avenue property, Mr. Gallagher. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Ron votes yes. Now, I'm sorry, go
So
ahead.
what Karen is bringing up is this. When this was approved, right before we approved the initial filing, it was actually the same day, the owner of that property transferred it to another person. Okay? This is the second time that's happened. He did that before on 226. He still has warrants out. This is all public information, so it's isn't permitted to be discussed in the executive session, just so you're aware. But he still has warrants out at the magistrate because he never did the things on the prior one. There are warrants out on this issue at the magistrate. There will be warrants issued. My understanding is through, at least by Ed with PMC, through the magistrate, the new owner. We've tried to serve the new owner. We have Montgomery County trying to serve the new owner. They're in violation of many things, actually. Not only with the building code violations, it's also a fraudulent transfer. They were aware there were violations of the property. There's also a question as to the insurance. That my understanding is there was insurance on the property under the ordinance. When you have a fire, that insurance has to be placed into escrow to take care of this exact same situation. So we're at the point where I am going to ask the judge for what's called alternative service.
Right.
That's when you dodge service, you try to get out of doing these things. And in talking with Judge Rullo briefly, I believe that's not going to be an issue. And I think that this will easily get rolled forward. And I already talked to Ed about testifying on the state of the property. And hopefully we'll have this done. I don't know. Hopefully the 60 days would be nice, but we're going to push it because that property, when talking to Ed, he was down here not long ago. And he has many, many concerns on the structural integrity of that. Because I think it was not in good shape before the fire.
It wasn't. So how much longer do we have to wait before we go before the judge and say, listen?
Not filing that yet. It's either it might not be this week, but it'll be the beginning of next week. Because I don't know how else we've exhausted languages in the rules. We've exhausted every available way to serve this person.
Yeah, because it happened on September 24th.
Yep.
So I mean, it's been a while.
Yep, and they had to go through the process of serving them through the magistrate. Then they had 14 days. I think that was as of like November 10th. They had 14 days through the magistrate. We actually, I don't want to say jumped ahead because that sounds bad, but we went ahead with the process because of the state of that property. Normally, we have to wait for the whole magistrate part to play out, but hopefully this will be done a lot sooner than the past.
Can we see if they're current on taxes now?
I can find
Can
out.
you find out?
Yep.
Because if they're not, we've gotten some bids on tearing it down as soon as we get permission. But, I mean, that's where Steve comes in with the blighted property,
Yep.
if they're behind on taxes. So I'd be interested in knowing that, if you could let us know.
I will. So if you recall, at our organizational meeting, I can't remember the name, I apologize for that. The couple that came and discussed the issue that they had on Front Street with the storm drains. Yep, under the Immunity Act, most likely the borough does not have liability, but I'm turning that over the packet to our insurance for them to review it to make that determination. So what I mean by that is the borough only in very specific circumstances has liability. And in this situation, unless we were under a notice of that exact storm drain having a failure on our part, then that's when it would kick in. Litter and debris and other things that are not naturally from the roadway, meaning leaves and limbs, that's an issue. And just so everybody knows, and it is public record, there is a history with that property on this debris and a storm drain. So that's part of the problem. But I'm turning that over, so if you have any flag or anything from that, that's what's there.
Now, what about the municipal authority, or don't you?
Doing the same exact.
Same thing?
Yep. So I'm just gonna refer to it as right litigation without getting into specifics. I have heard nothing back. I filed the objections to that back in think it was June. And I'm gonna go ahead and forward and ask the judge to dismiss that because there's been no action taken. And hopefully that one will go away. If you recall, I don't think I ever had reported on this at the end of last year, and I just saw that, but the other litigation that we have with the police department, that got dismissed as to the borough, and the other parties settled it. I don't know what, because they didn't disclose that, but we no longer have that liability either. Now, I did not bring a proposed copy of a snow ordinance. We have a snow parking ordinance, but we do not have a snow ordinance. There have been several different issues that have come up with like how far snow is plowed, where it's been plowed to. We actually don't have an ordinance at all in place. And I know everybody refers to what PennDOT does, and they'll say that, well, PennDOT's plowing within the right of way. We actually need to have an ordinance in place to establish how we're allowed to plow within the right of way, what is considered damage, what is considered, that you should or should not have replaced in those timelines. I'll give you an example. Somerset Borough has a very short and sweet, I'll call it, ordinance, but quite frankly, anything within the right of way, which is wider than what you may or may not think. For example, a 16-foot street, I believe, has an additional 10 feet of right of way, and anything within that right of way is not replaceable. But I will get a sample out of that so that you guys can review it, because I do think it's important with these snowfall events that there's some kind of guideline.
Yeah, we have to look into people putting snow on other people's property,
And that's part of what that.
including the borough's property, the park uptown. The bank decided to plow their snow on.
Yeah, but see, that's actually part of that, because there was more than, like, there are other places in town where people were placing their snow into the public right of way.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to do that with PennDOT, but here, we don't have an ordinance. We have an ordinance if there's a snow emergency, and that covers parking. But Patty was diligent enough to look through all our wonderful ordinances, and we don't have that. So I think that stuff needs corrected.
Did we ever declare a snow emergency?
I think Shane.
Yeah, he did on this.
Yeah, I was gonna
He did.
say, I think he.
Yeah, he put something on Facebook about parking the
He
off.
did that.
Parking, yeah.
But
That's not necessarily a snow emergency.
I drafted for him an actual emergency declaration, but we did not put it in place.
Keep going.
Not that I saw.
Oh, great one.
Well, I think he might have enacted the parking portion.
Right, that definitely was.
So High Street Bridge, I think it's time that we reach out to Carl, or State Representative Carl Metzger, and also our state senator. So if EADS is up to do the annual inspection, this will at least be the third year in a row that they're gonna have a failing grade out of that. And you could look at it in a positive way and say there's many areas that are good, but there's some structural issues with that bridge. And I think it's time that we get our representatives involved. And one of the reasons I say that is, in looking back through my notes, this discussion actually started in 2018, and CSX has pushed that ball down the road pretty hard. And they tried to use the issue on Myers Avenue that is now taken care of with that access road. They tried to use North Street, and it might have been Broadway. There was another one, I can't remember the other one. It was Clay. Whichever one it is that intersection, they tried to bundle those together, give us a package deal, and then give us the bridge, which has a replacement value of, I think, somewhere between $10 and $12 million now. But I think we need to get them involved to put some pressure to do something.
Yeah, that's their bridge. We don't want it.
I would ask for a motion, and then council, contact our representative, just so that we get that ball rolling.
Did you get the motion, Patty? He need to repeat the
Just to
motion? Did you get it?
Since you're going to contact Representative Metzger and Senator Stefano on the High Street Bridge issue.
Motion. Jeff, Clarence. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
So the zoning board just briefly had a hearing on, it was December 29th of 2025. The The use was for a daycare that was denied. The reason it was denied, if any of you have heard about that, it isn't a residential one dwelling unit. That being said, I would remind, and I think we should sometime have one of our committee meetings or have a separate committee look at how our zoning districts are set up according
Yes.
to what businesses are now. The last thing I have is we ran into an issue with the tax ordinance that you had passed. And that is when Patty put it into the system, the Commonwealth will not allow the recommended amount that Keystone Tax says that they can collect. And Keystone still believes they can collect it, they can't collect it. So the amount will not be 12.5%, it will be 10%. So it's a lower amount. That is the only thing that changes in the amended ordinance. It can't be a resolution. It has to be an ordinance. You would have to vote to advertise it tonight, and then at the next meeting, you would have to vote whether to approve or disapprove.
Could we have a motion to advertise? We'll change it from 12.5 to 10%. Is there a motion?
$12.50.
What'd I say?
$12.50 down to $10, sorry.
Sorry.
I think I said percent.
You said percent.
Is there a motion and a second? Bob made the motion. I heard Clarence second it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? That is unanimous.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for our solicitor? Code enforcement is not here, so we'll go to the committee reports. Barry, anything from the MMA?
For code,
Street,
just for code enforcement purposes, I will say that, just so everybody is aware, there was an issue, I believe on Thomas, I can't remember, it's Thomas, is it Center? It's above Thomas. I don't know how we have two Center Streets.
In Salisbury Street.
Well, is that right above Thomas?
Oh, you're talking about that little alley. in
Yeah.
there. That's,
Is it Center Allen? I can't remember. But there was a issue with PMCA, just so you're aware, in which there was and this is just for informational purposes, where there used to be mobile homes. And the owner wanted to put mobile homes or reuse the mobile homes that way again. There were two reasons why that couldn't be done. One is we have a mobile home ordinance now, and that has to be followed, which means it can be done, but they'd have to go through the ordinance. The other one is the use of those mobile homes in that way had actually stopped. And our zoning ordinance says that after 1 year, even if it was a permitted non-conforming use, if that use has stopped more than a year, then you lose that use. You have to go through the process again. And I just wanted you to know that, just, not only because we've dealt with that issue in the past, but if anybody asks, council does have the right to know what you're being asked about, those issues. So.
That's right beside the White House.
Correct.
You're talking about.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Ryan, street foreman.
well, first thing I have is, again, with that street sweeper, is there some way we can get that out of our shop?
How can we get rid of it for free? Just give it away for scrap?
You can-
Or bid it first? and
You
if
either have
anybody-
to, if you give it to another municipality, you don't have to bid it, you don't have to advertise it, it's wash. If it is for scrap, what I would do is I would call like Cantor or one of those groups and have them bring the roll off and shove it in.
Does it work?
And if
I
that,
wouldn't in good faith want to put it out to bid to anybody else. So then if you feel that Mark can guide us just to get rid of the thing for scrap.
you can just do you'd have to do a simple bid like we did in the past, because that's what the law requires. And somebody would have to bid it for scrap as is.
Yeah, I mean, the brooms on that thing are more expensive than the machine itself.
And the brooms go with it.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything go with it. It's just needs to be gotten out there.
Could we bid that? Could we make a motion to move? I was down there with Brian plowing snow and it's space that you could use for something
Yeah,
else.
Yeah.
And it's worthless. So I'd like to move forward on
Is
that.
that
and
the
try-
pole one, or is that the one that they drove?
It's a gray thing.
It's the dry, it's,
Okay.
yeah,
It
it's.
drives itself.
The ombudsman was interested in it, he never come.
No. Well, he didn't know how to go about it. He wasn't real sure.
Horses on it.
So, no, I mean, as far as purchasing, that sort of thing. He didn't know what.
He has one down.
Well, how would we advertise this and it is for,
We
for
did
just
this
for
2 years
scrap?
ago, yeah.
I mean.
Well, we can just advertise for sale as is, and they can make a bid on scrap. We had went through this with what was it,
Oh,
plows and
Yeah, a bunch
beds
of
and some
stuff.
other stuff to move it along.
There's a whole bunch of
Real
stuff.
estate is the only one that we don't have to bid out if it's under, I think it's the value of $1,200.
You have to specifically say you're bidding it out for scrap or just.
No, we can just say that, yeah, but
They can do
for
whatever they
sale
want
as,
for it.
whatever they want.
Is there a motion?
I'll make them.
Thank you, Tom. Karen seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Very good, Patty. We'll move forward on this. What else, Brian?
Well, the second thing is with this snowfall, our John Deere tractor, which I do know we did get zero turn, we got a Steiner. Tractor we have now is 30 couple years old. Thing's shot, junk. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work as it should. I mean, the hydraulics.
It's like a lawnmower.
Yeah, it's a John Deere, it's a 955.
Okay.
But what would you guys think of trading that or getting a different one, something that is more, I mean, readily available with weather like this, something that's.
Could you get some prices and recommendations and prices for next month?
Yeah, I know the guy over at the John Deere building, I can call him. And see what he says. It doesn't have to be a new one, even a used one, just something that is better than what we have.
Yeah, if it's, I can't remember the phone quote amount right now, it's 13.5, I think, but maybe it's 14.5, but we'd have to still get the phone quote done, I'm sure. I can't imagine that would be
Well, what do we need it for?
Well, we use it in the summertime to mow, and then we have a snow blower and a high lift bucket on it that we use in the wintertime. We have a sprayer on the back of it. We have a rock rake that we use to level some of the alleys.
But you need all that for the Steiner too, game.
Yeah, you could, but it wouldn't. I guess you could use that too. You could probably get a blower and stuff on that. So I mean, I could look both ways. That is a good idea. You know, we could look and see about getting something like that for the Steiner. Which way is gonna be, cheaper, I'll put it that way.
Won't you give it some thought, put some effort into it and give us a report in March?
Yeah, I can call them and see what they say both ways.
Anything else?
You have to do bids if it's over 13.2 to 24,499 is written quotes.
Yeah.
And over 24.5 is the public bidding.
Thank you, Patty.
I had a few things. So, Brian walked in, the microwave and the gutters, do we have quotes for those for down there? I mean, May will come before we know it. Have you gotten somebody, Brian, to give us
I
quotes
haven't.
on that stuff?
I haven't yet with the weather. I haven't really had time to-
The microwave is in my office, so whenever somebody wants to get it to put it up.
Okay.
I can even get somebody tomorrow. I can call somebody tomorrow and see.
For the microwave and gutters. Okay. And then, I have a question. Last Thursday night, I was going to meet friends for dinner. The sidewalk, so we have a lot of people that don't have cars. We're in an impoverished area. There's a lot of people that walk to Family Dollar and get their groceries and walk this way. So around the playground here, so it was dark and somebody was walking on the road. And I've actually seen several people. Whose responsibility is it to keep the sidewalk so people can walk from Family Dollar? And it's a big area, but it scares me because neither side of the road is maintained with these big snows. So we have people walking on the street. The other place I saw it was when I was going up Beakley Street to go out to the White House last week, was in the dark. Somebody was walking down where the bridge is above Sheets. They were walking in the road with their back to traffic because the bridge, who's
Right.
responsible? Like I say, it'd be a lot to take on.
So the here at the community center and the portion at the park.
Yeah.
Without looking at the deeds, I'm pretty sure that falls on the borough. The bridge, there's an agreement attached to that, but pretty much that probably falls on the borough too.
We do the bridge, and that's what I'm getting at with the equipment. We went up and tried to shovel that, and it's like concrete. I mean,
I'm
there's
sure.
there's no digging out with a shovel.
Okay, so you would use that equipment to
Yeah,
clean
yeah,
both
that's
areas?
exactly what we
Okay.
need. That's why our John
Okay.
Deere is shot. That's what we used to use.
Okay.
We have a blower, but the tractor's shot, so
Got a Bobcat, huh?
that doesn't fit on
With
the
a bucket?
sidewalk. I tried that on the bridge, and
Okay, a couple other
it's
things.
not.
With the snow that we've had this year, like at the post office, like the lines are painted blue, which is great, but the street has been covered with snow now for a week or 10 days, and there's no handicap signs up there. So people are parking there, so if there's a handicap person, they can't see the blue. Can we get
I thought
some
there was
signs up?
a-
There is not.
There used to be. I have to go
The sign
find
was taken down when they redid sidewalks, remember? Nobody ever put it back up.
it.
Actually, yeah, they were supposed to be
They were
replaced as
supposed
part of
to
the
be back
streetscape, and they weren't
Yeah,
done,
they were never put back up.
which is how we got
We
into that.
can
red
put a
line
sign
too.
up there as soon as you can.
And then tonight, I had my trucks in the shop this week for some deer damage. And when I was walking over here, literally a car came down, it was actually a white pickup truck, a nice truck, came down Myers Avenue and went the wrong way around the monument. And it scared some people. I think we really need to keep those lines around there. I know we can't right now, but especially before the festival, we really need those lines and arrows painted. And the other thing, Deb Moore, she was teaching her daughter actually to drive. She'll probably kill me for saying this. But when you come down Myers Avenue, we've all lived here forever, but when you're at Dunkus's there, sitting at the stop sign, we all know there's 2 lanes there. One to come across, like towards Subway, and one to turn left and come around the monument. But there's no divided line there, and I don't know that there's ever been. So for people not familiar and for new drivers, I think we need a line there to designate
And
that's 2 lanes.
I'm not sure, I hate to be the attorney, but I'm not sure that those are actually designated for 2 lanes or not.
Okay.
We got.
There
into
are
that.
arrows there.
No, I know,
We always
but
paint the arrows.
when we dealt with the Center Street, the streetscape, Kevin might know, Kevin Yoder, because he had looked at, when they first did the Center Street streetscape, redoing the monument area. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I
Jeff.
do, oh, yeah.
And that was one of the issues that came in because it was raised, hey, we have 2 lanes, which we all have used.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they're actually
Oh,
designated that way. So,
I mean,
Kevin
common
would know
sense.
that.
If you're in the lower lane, goes around the monument, the upper lane, you make the right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and it's just like when we've done the one-way streets and other stuff,
Yeah.
they have that designated differently, and that used to be a state route, which
It
most
was.
roads
Yeah,
were.
Myers.
And then that's part of that agreement,
Turn back.
correct? So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Kevin
Okay.
would definitely know, because he did that whole thing on that.
Maybe we can, when you paint it,
Yeah,
again, the line.
always before the festival, we always paint around that monument. You
Yeah.
have to, because people are just, they don't
Yeah.
know which way to go.
that's right.
So
Okay.
we always get in line with them arrows.
Anything else under street foreman? Meyersdale Area Merchants Association? Hello.
You came just in time.
I apologize for being late. I apologize about my parents, but guess what time of year it is?
We need to tell you, we've started at 6 now. All our meetings are starting at 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, but you're still
You're
on
right
time.
on time.
Yeah, you're before you gave your report.
Okay. Well, it's maple season, so that's why I'm late. Had a great day tapping today. So for the Merchants Association, we have not had a general meeting since since November. December, we didn't have one because of holidays. In January, it's because of the weather. So our main topics that we're going to be talking about primarily is going to be committees establishment. The 3 big ones we're going to be reestablishing will be the farmers market, bikes around town, and golf tournament. The farmers market's mostly already done. We just need to get some things hashed out. One of the things I'm going to seek tonight is for the farmers market is approval from the borough for continued use of Holy Floor Playground and the pavilion for next year's season. The season should run the same every Thursday, May through September. We're working out some details on the actual hours. That may shift a little bit, but we're hoping to get approval for that as well.
Could we have a motion? Karen makes the motion, Jeffy seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. You got it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You say that was Thursdays.
Thursdays, yes, same as last year. We were Thursday, May through September. Last year, we were 8 o'clock to 1 PM, 8 AM to 1 PM. It may stay that way. We're just trying to balance some things out here. We're still trying to get some feedback from last year's vendors, because that's one thing they're hoping to change, maybe a little bit later in the day, but we'll see how that goes. So our next meeting is going to be Wednesday, February 18th, 6 PM up at the Elks. The biggest topic we're going to be talking about, and I haven't been to a meeting here in a while either, our grant for a billboard was approved, right? We have a match obligation for that of roughly $2,400. Again, that is not in our budget for the Merchant Association, so we are still seeking donations. I've sent multiple letters out. We have not gone to businesses or anything along those lines yet. We're going to wait and see what comes out of our next meeting. I have had several offers from several of the larger businesses in town to pay for the whole thing. Under the caveat, they want sponsorship on there, right? So Mr. Solicitor is where I'm going to ask for your assistance. What I have been told, because as a Lady Bird Johnson Memorial billboard, there will be no sponsorship associated with that, meaning
Correct.
it cannot be on there. No,
Yeah.
I've been told that. I've done internet searches for it. I cannot find that.
So the issue comes into play though, the initial rule, the initial law, Lady Bird Johnson, I think that goes back to either 67 or 68. And then it got changed in 1973. And then it got changed again in the 80s, and I can't remember the date, so forgive me. But its strength and enforcement ability is virtually nothing. And let me put it this way, there are many ways to deal with that, okay, and to get through with that. So one is to change the exact positioning of the sign. The other one is to go back to the original landowner in which that sign was placed, because that was one of the enforceability issues. Even though those signs were put next to roadways, they never got the releases that they were supposed to. And the federal government, believe it or not, was not totally truthful with the funding that was supposed to go towards those signs. Most of those signs are privately funded to begin with. So we can come up with a way to deal with that.
Okay. Right, and I'm pretty sure there's a creative way to do it.
And it's
What do
actually
you
legal.
need?
It's not like over.
2,400?
2,400 is our match obligation. If you remember, the initial quote that we got was roughly $7,400. That was for material. That did not include installation or labor costs.
Well, if the borough would say we would pledge 1,000, that should help. I'm not saying they'll do that, but I think certainly this is something that would be worthwhile. We're promoting our community with that sign. Would that help?
Absolutely. So here's kind of what we're thinking. When I came to you last time, the quote was for $7,400, and that was for the size of the current vinyl banner that's there. If you take a look at that sign, there are 5 posts to stick up an additional 4 feet beyond that. So we got an additional quote to return it to its normal size. That's $12,000. So we're trying to wait and see what kind of money comes in. Are we doing the $7,400 option? Are we doing $12,000?
I see. Gotcha.
So yes, any money coming in would definitely help, and I believe we can get there. I just want to make you aware of what we're doing. So I just need to find a creative way, because again, there are some big businesses who want to pay for the whole thing. I just can't have their logo on the banner. We'll find a way to do that.
Yep, I'll help you.
All right, I appreciate that. Yeah. So that is everything I have, unless you have any questions.
Ryan said, I don't know if you were here for that part. He is going to work on the microwave and the gutters this week. Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Did I say something? Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate your work for the community, and come back to us when you have some more information as far as funding for the sign.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, public library.
Okay, so the Friends of the Library that I'm a part of, we have Death by Chocolate Friday night, Amity Church basement. So lots of wonderful chocolates. It's a big fundraiser for them. The library will also be selling chocolates that people donate there. So please support the library.
Meyersdale Community Events.
Can I chime in with the library?
Sure.
One thing I did forget to bring up my report. I need a motion to release. There was a lien put on with the former owners of the, was it the novel
Hospital.
property? Actually, yeah, it tracks with across from where, it's where the park is at now, the Uptown Park. But that tracks to the actual owners themselves. They no longer own real estate in our borough to attach to. That lien is from 2010, I believe. I bet Patty would remember that one from heart, but
Was it the
sidewalk lien, yes. That sidewalk was then subsequently repaired again or replaced through the Center Street project. But I would ask, the library is in the process, we're finalizing the purchase of, what is that, 354 Main Street, I believe, which was the hospital. And they have asked that lien be released. We're not going to be able to recover it. So I would just ask for that so they can move forward with their purchase of that property.
Our solicitor recommends this. Clarence, are you nodding a motion?
No, I'm just, well, what do you say?
How much is
So
it?
how much is it?
The lien itself, I believe it is 18,000. Yeah,
So we have to pay that?
no.
No.
We just have to release, it costs $13 to release it.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry about that part. Yeah, no, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Tom and Clarence. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Okay, Meyersdale Community Events. Jeffy.
Yes, I have a budget for, this year, $7,000. That will cover the Easter egg, 4th of July, entertainment at the gazebo, Halloween, and of course the light up night. And last year we had, mother and son dance and father and daughter dance at the elk, which, that went pretty good. So I'm asking for $7,000 for the budget.
What was it last year, the same?
Last year's budget was 7,100.
And you're asking 75.
7,000.
I say let's give them 8. That way you're not tight. I say let's give them 8. They work hard. They shouldn't be constrained. If anybody is objecting, then we can give them the 7. But could we have a discussion or a motion either way, 7 or 8?
Let's go with the 8, and if they don't use it, then.
You don't have
If we
to-
don't use it, we'll
Yeah.
have it finished.
And the second.
A second.
Okay, thank you, Bob. All those in favor of a budget of $8,000 for the community events, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously.
And also, we have Marlena Marco resigned from the community events. She's gonna have a baby this year. So do I like advertise, or how do I get somebody that wants to volunteer?
Do you know people you can just ask and then come back and report and we approve it? I don't think we have to advertise for that.
Those committee members they are governed under that. I can't remember how the ordinance goes, Patty. We unfortunately do not follow that ordinance the way it's
Yeah, I
supposed
think
to be.
you've changed it from
Correct.
Parks and Rec Committee to the Community Events Committee, and anybody that wanted to help out, they just let them help, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Just see if you can find, but then make a list of your committee and report to the council so we know who's on it for our insurance purposes, So let us know who your committee is.
And our next meeting is February 26th at the Elks at 7 o'clock. That's all I have.
I have 2 things there. I want to officially thank First Summit Bank, spent about $1,300 and purchased, and I think it's been received, a commercial tree, 8 feet that, from the same vendor that we've been using for all our holiday stuff. So I want to thank Michael for his support. And Jeff had asked me to go back to them. We need new garland. And we need about 54 feet of it. And she sent me a quote, it'll be plus shipping, if we could, the reason why I want to get this done tonight is we get a discount through the end of February and then it goes away. So it behooves us to order it soon. Her quote is $646.54, but till we get shipping and everything, are you okay, if Jeff's okay, up to $800 on, and we could use, is it the Luckenby, the beautification grant money? Trust money? Patty, is it Luckenby?
Yeah.
Where's First Summit Bank at?
First Summit Bank, Somerset. Michael
Donated.
Coleman,
Donated for here?
a lot of people do business. Michael Coleman was.
We did do a thank you note, didn't we, Patty? Or
Yes, we did.
we said it already?
Good for a motion.
It'll be this plus basically $650 plus shipping, so I thought we should do $800 just to make sure we cover.
Did you get the motion?
That they're gonna buy garland, 54 feet of garland, up to $800.
I want Jeff to measure it and make sure that's enough. So if you can do that and then get with Patty and she can get with Nina and we can get it ordered by like the 26th, it has to be ordered.
Okay, Karen made a motion, $800 maximum. Somebody gonna second it? Jeff seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Everybody's voting unanimously tonight.
And it has to be ordered by the 22nd of
Let
February.
me see what she said.
Maybe you could just send me whatever you have so I can get the right thing.
Meyersdale Renaissance. Then I guess we're down to council members standing committees.
You wanna leave that Renaissance on that agenda? It's been on there for forever.
I'd take it off.
It says we saved 33% through February 25th. So it's a big savings.
Because it's not existing now, is it?
No, I think it does exist. I don't know if
It's not active,
they're
certainly.
operating or not.
I'd take it off, we can always, unless somebody objects, we can put it back on. Okay, council members standing committee, police, public safety. Ron is the chairperson of that.
No, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking streets, pardon me.
I think we covered the fireworks, which the mayor's responsible for, and the best. So I think we're good on police.
Okay, there is one item underneath there. We had discussed this. I think Brian is on board and others. I firmly believe that this council has to have an emergency access to get in the police department. There's a small room far in the back. There's a water line or pressure release line in there. We back years ago, we had a situation where there was a leak in there. It was related to the old coal furnace and water was every place. I can remember a time, but the drain, I don't know if it was a toilet or a drain in the southwest corner was backing up. And I would urge council to come up with a plan, talk to Karen who's in charge of the police and the mayor, that we have access, an emergency access key that Patty keeps in her office. Shane, the mayor, he's over in Somerset living now, half the time, probably all the time. So to get him over here, we have one of our officers isn't even in town. And there are situations that occur for the safety of the building that we need access. There can be some kind of a checks and balances system. I know they have their evidence room. I mean, that can be locked up, that we can't get in there. But there just has to be some kind of an emergency access. I think Brian is in favor of it. Patty and I discussed it. I don't know other.
So the only requirements are, by law, the evidence room is supposed to be locked at all times anyway.
Yes.
Their system is supposed to be password protected so that nobody other than the police have access to it.
To the evidence room.
No, to the computers. And I believe their firewall system with what we had the changes done, where he's at, I believe those are protected and they're separate, aren't they? Patty, your system's separate than their system.
Yes.
So it should be easy to work that out.
I mean, the system could be very stringent in that if an emergency access is necessary, whoever gets in, like if it's probably, it would be you, Brian, the key would be in Patty's office. A form, we can make a form would have to be filled out. The mayor would have to be notified, possibly the chairperson of the police committee. But I just think it's absolutely inappropriate that we can't get in there
Well,
if
actually,
there is some kind of an emergency.
if you had a system that required documentation, that way, if there's ever a question as to anything that would go on, then I don't see any issue with having a motion and doing that. Because there's a difference between the police department and its operations versus the building itself. And as long as the things that are required to be protected are protected at the police department, you know, and we have some type of paper trail like you're saying, because I haven't thought about that. I think that would go a long way.
You could even. have
And the
a
notice,
sign,
because if
yeah.
you would give notice to the mayor and then the chair of the police committee, that way people are aware, you know what I mean? And there's no,
I
You
would
could have a
suggest,
sign in,
Can we
sign out.
table that until next month, till the mayor's back?
Oh, I absolutely, Karen, don't want a decision tonight.
Okay.
Absolutely not, but I think we all need to think about this, and based on when I was on before, there were times when we had to get in there,
like when we had the sewage backup,
which we were able to.
that was kind of.
And then all of a sudden with the new mayor, he said, well, but there has to be a system if we have an emergency. I would say keep it, Patty could keep it locked up in her office. It would be a very emergency type situation, a very serious occurrence if we have to go in. But with that pipe in the background, way back, it was some kind of a steam pipe that ruptured.
We've had water leaks there, we've had steam leaks, we've had sewer.
Yeah, so anyway,
electrical issues.
we'll keep that on the
Wouldn't like them
agenda.
Out of there, long term.
should never move from down there.
Nope.
We'll keep it on the agenda then. Move where?
What? Nothing, go ahead.
Please start in trouble.
Just a caveat on that, I think if we do this, it should start with the key, the documentation, the paper trail.
Oh, yeah.
Start with the key, who signs that key out from her?
Yeah.
And then from
It
there,
shouldn't be just one person.
Right.
It should be at least two people going in there.
Yep.
Everything should.
We
be-
can have parameters, two people go in and, sure.
There's an issue with that, though. If, say that there's an emergency like that sewer line, I had to get in there, I couldn't get a hold of anybody to go into that police station.
Just for your own protection.
Well, no, I
Everyone's
get
in
you,
there
no,
probably by himself.
I totally get you.
My guns are missing.
and I
Yeah.
think if it's a legit emergency,
Yeah. I
the
can
guy
care
that's
less
gonna
what's
probably
in
fix it has to get in there.
there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and it's just, the issue is getting a hold of somebody at the time of the emergency.
So,
Okay, let's move on here.
Anything else under the police, Karen? Personnel?
Oh, they're all happy. I talked to all of them. They're wonderful. They want to give back some money.
Sweet.
Really, Patty? Good. Finance. We had the finance committee, Clarence gave that, refuse.
So with the refuse, take your thunder away. Patty had asked about the updated contract. That contract was renewed for 3 years. It was done in that letter memorandum form. Jeff asked me if we have to increase it, like do an additional two-year terms. The answer is no, that's an option, but that has to be approved by both sides.
I had just read, I made a copy of this. I was thinking it, or you had told me somehow, this current contract, according to this, would expire January 1st of 2027.
Right.
And then he wanted the option for 2 additional 2-year extensions, which would take us up to 2031. I would be in favor, not tonight, but that maybe we would think about renewing, giving him 1 additional 2-year term, because it's the first of 2027, it's not the end.
No,
I was thinking it
no,
was.
I was thinking it was in too.
Yeah, so I would say maybe we could, I don't want to make the decision tonight, but maybe if you'd put that on the agenda, Patty, recommend or discuss renewing Harball contract for 1 2-year term, which would take us up to 2029, January 1st.
And
Thoughts?
as a heads up, what do you think about that? The rate is probably going to increase in April. He has to provide the documentation required of the contract, but they are now going to the Davidsville Waste Management landfill. That rate has been increased, so we'll be seeing that.
Yeah, they always raise it.
By the council.
Anything else? There, let's move on. Streets and buildings, the family restroom and gym door update. I thought we were going to discuss approving putting this out for bid. Now, Mark said we have to figure out fixtures. What
We
kind of
need-
fixtures do we need?
We need to figure out what you want in this room. If we have a basic drawing, okay? If you've ever had a contractor that is going to bid on something, they need to know what kind of walls do you want? You know, so everybody bids on the same parameter. What kind of sinks? Like, for example, when we looked at getting the ADA water fountain, correct? I mean, Tom looked and there was a pretty wide variation of price range according to what you want. We need a basic list of what is wanted, not just like room dimension.
I think you would put a wall mounted, like what we've done in our ADAs, is you put a wall mounted sink.
Mhm.
They have to cover the pipes, blah, 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 basic light, basic mirror. You know, you have to have an ADA toilet. It either has to have a center flush or wherever the wheelchair goes, the flush handle has to be on that side. Then you need the handicap. It depends on the code enforcement officer. You have to have the laterals and the verticals and all that, handrails. We should spec the walls and the floors.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could put that together. If somebody sends me something, I can spec that if you want me to. What do you want on the walls, though? I mean, is drywall fine
Something easy to clean.
and laminate on the floor? I think if we put a wipeable paint on the walls, we'll be
Mhm.
fine.
Mhm.
And just do drywall and then vinyl plank on the floor. Just a good grade.
And those are. the
Like a
basic
5 mm.
parameters we need to move forward. Yeah.
Okay. If you send me something, I'll spec it if you want me to.
We'll keep that on the list.
Is it a single toilet and sink?
I believe, but I'll look again.
Send me and I'll spec it.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Do you care if I make those decisions?
The Italian marble will be nice.
Not really. Just, I think we want to try to move it forward as quickly as we can. Flood control, we have,
We're so excited. So I'm excited to talk about that. I was worried that we can't really fund the 25% on the riprap grant that I got and apply for another DCED loan for $300,000 to $325,000 and pay another 25% on that too. And I was worried if we applied, which we were talking about with Kevin, for a new DCED to clean out the debris field after the May flooding event, I was afraid DCED would get mad at us that we were skipping and like whatever. So I sent Carl's office, Nicole, I work closely with Nicole Weaver. She is wonderful, a note early last week. And I said, you know, we're talking about moving forward with this other grant request. What's that going to look like to DCED? They won't do this reallocation. Do we apply for one? Do we go to PEMA and look for other grant funding? Because DCED is going to be upset with us. What do you think? So she got with Pat's office and they kind of brainstormed. And then Carl called me middle of last week and he was here like, I'm going to work on this. So I really appreciate him. Because within 2 days, I heard back from Nicole. She was here like, hey, last Thursday, she was here like before the end of the day. And I reached out to Jeff and Mark to let them know, can I answer some questions? I got them some verbiage on the issue with the debris field and the significance of getting that cleaned out. And I got a couple other pieces of information and sent that back to DCED. On Friday, they reached out to Patty in the borough. They had an analyst come. And yesterday, Nicole followed up with DCED. And like I say, it's a real hurdle to make DCED, but the governor's office actually got involved. And I think Randy with Pima. And yesterday I got an email and was copied on it, and I think they're gonna do it.
No, it came, Patty got it, right?
Did they,
It-
they're
Yeah.
formally,
It's
we got
in
the,
your stuff.
Patty got the email from DCD today, is it today?
okay.
That says that Patricia, and then it says DCD/CFA has approved the change to the removal of sedimentation and debris in the debris basin.
Did they state a dollar amount? Because our grant that we got was for like
Not on the
$235.
email, no.
Because we stated in our response from the borough, 325, which was 20 to 40,000 higher. So I don't know how much money they're gonna give us. But I'm super excited. That's a big win for us.
We'll have to get Kevin on that moving forward. I don't know if we can,
We'll have to,
if we move it.
we'll
It
have
might
to make
not
sure we
happen
get the
this
formal
summer.
paperwork
Yeah.
start, and once they give us that, you can start the process.
Anything else, Karen?
No, you're welcome.
Okay, and then the other thing I would just suggest to the Flood Control Committee, Terry Baker has been instrumental. He was in charge of the Flood Control Committee for years. He has agreed to be like a liaison to the council. He knows the inspectors from the Army Corps, from DEP, and I think we got permission from the municipal authority that they would allow him to work when the inspections are and anything that might facilitate us working with these two organizations. So Terry has also agreed to be the liaison, so I think it would be prudent that we utilize him, especially during these inspections.
And I would do that by a motion, just because of what's involved with flood control.
Okay, could we have a motion to accept Terry Baker as a liaison, not being a council member, to the flood control? Jeff makes that motion. Clarence seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
The only other thing I would mention, I don't think Karen said it.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think we should send a thank you to a
Carl,
representative, yeah, and
And
Metzger and
Yeah.
Stefano for that.
they've worked hard.
Okay, moving along here, let's see if we can wind it up here. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, which is no problem. Unfinished business, the zoning, we already talked about that. We need to get together in a special meeting, I think, just to discuss this. Flood mitigation program, that DCED granting, we kind of went over that. Myers Avenue property sale, we did that. And we, donation of the illuminated Bethlehem stars. We had discussed that at the reorganizational meeting. Is there anything new with that, Karen, to move?
No, I don't know if Patty's given them to somebody yet. I have the one I brought. Do you want those? There's
Oh,
some Bethlehem
okay, okay.
stars that could be put across the front of the building.
I wasn't tracking for a moment.
The church has them. If not, they'll sell them.
Don't matter to me.
Well, nobody cares. Either we make a motion, we accept them, or we just let it slide by.
How many is there?
I think 7.
I'd say we take them, we put them somewhere.
You say maybe on some of the windows here. Okay, Tom says we take them. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Clarence seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Should we get the blinds up in the
Jim?
gym?
Just on that one side towards Family
I was
Dollar.
just curious.
Right.
They just put them up today.
Okay, announcements. Okay, vacancy on Uniform Construction Code Board. We do have a vacancy on this board. I found someone who I think would be very good to go on. His name is Keith Hay. Keith does construction. He's into remodeling. He has a lovely family. He's a Meyersdale person through and through. And I spoke with him today and he said, sure, Jeff. So I would like to ask for a motion that we put Keith Hay on, appoint him in the vacancy term which has occurred. I think it expires the summer of 2027. And I'll actually make that discussion first, discussion. I'll make a motion then, President can, that we go ahead and put Keith Hay on as filling the vacancy. Is there a second? Thank you, Jeff. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. No parking on High Street between Grant and Fourth. Is that your baby?
Yeah, I think we can skip that. It kind of took care of itself.
Notifications?
Yeah, so we have the one call, and I just thought, we probably had a couple occasions with this last heavy snowfall to use it, like about the parking issue. Somebody said on social media, like, we have a lot of elderly people that aren't on social media, aren't on all the pages. So like the parking issue, like the garbage was delayed a day, those sort of things. Can we just do, you guys work together and use one call for those sort of situations to get the word out? I mean, we pay for the service. Have we used it in the past year?
I don't think so. You mean with the municipal authority?
You used it one time last year, but I can't remember what that was for.
It might have been during the flood.
That might have been it.
Well, the garbage being delayed, I mean, you figure, well, okay, they didn't get it today, they're gonna get it tomorrow. I don't know that was necessary to send a one call out for the garbage being delayed one day. Maybe we could use it for the even odd parking, which Shane had instituted. That might be something. I guess we just really didn't think about it with everything that was on Facebook and.
There were a lot of questions about the garbage as well.
Especially
More than
because,
the parking.
yeah, Harballs doesn't normally collect on Saturdays. So like people wonder, do I put it out on Friday and they're gonna pick it up on Saturday? I mean, it doesn't hurt. We have the service. Why not use it?
Did they even they didn't tell us ahead of time, did they? Or-
Patty.
I didn't get very much notice whatsoever,
Okay.
Yeah.
because they didn't really know, because that first Monday, they weren't allowed on 219.
Mm.
And it was just a mix-up. They just didn't know to tell us.
I guess it would be a good idea in the future if we have a delay in the garbage pickup, that we utilize a one call, just. It
As long
can't
as
be.
the municipal authority doesn't have any problem with that.
Yeah, we would have, I don't think they would be, they'd coordinate with us, I don't.
We share the borough shares the cost, right? Isn't that what, how it is?
I think so.
Yeah.
If we pay half of it.
So we'll change that. Did you say something, Ron? Okay, sorry. And then grants and goals, flood control riprap. That we changed our grant. We're gonna hopefully get the grant. I forgot. I had all these calls to make. I wanted to call John Conwell about the lower project that it slipped my mind. So I'll have to give a report on that at the next meeting. And a 3 to 5 year goal plan, Karen, that was, you had that put on the agenda?
Yes, so I would like to get our goals written down tonight, like what everybody thinks we want over the next 3 to 5 years. And then I would get with Steve and with Michelle and see what grants they might have, and then invite them to a meeting over the next couple of months at their leisure.
Well, one thing I would just blurt out here would be the grants to improve this building as much as possible. You know, we're working with the handicap accessibility, maybe get the upstairs fixed up. I mean, you know, way back whenever we had a discussion whether we wanted to stay here or not, we were told by a number of individuals that there's plenty of money out there, you know, and we applied for a large grant, and of course we didn't get anything. But I would like to put, you know, doing as much as we can to save this building and maintain the building, improve it for the future generation.
I think the roof probably needs redone, because I think last time that the roof was done was back in 2010.
Is it leaking?
Was that-
Is the roof leaking?
No, but, they said that the roof probably needs to be redone about every 20, 25 years.
I thought your report with your engineer said the roof was good.
They did. I think Jeff, I don't think there's a problem with it. You inspect it, but I think Jeff is saying that it's been on there since 2010. I don't know, 30, 35 years.
Yeah,
Roof.
I don't know what the life on it is.
That's a rubber roof up there.
One person said you don't need a new roof till you have 8 buckets in the attic.
When they look at it though, they should look at the same system they used down at the shirt factory.
So I
That's
have a
great.
few things.
Yeah,
It
okay,
seems like
good.
that works.
Good.
Something that came up this evening is updating equipment for the borough.
And you can get grants for that, like the LSA grants, like, out in Pocahontas. Why am I not thinking
Greenville Township.
Greenville Township? Like, they got like a $225,000 backhoe.
They
And
got
Stephen
2
done it.
grants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's LSA.
Is Meyersdale's 150th anniversary this year,
That was last year.
last year. Okay, so we still have the
We
250th
do.
anniversary this year. And I guess I'll find out what the community events has planned.
You know what bugs me? So when I first came on and we went to have our first event, there wasn't a flagpole at the new park uptown. So we got a flagpole donated and got that up. But there's not a flag here. There's the painted one, but we don't have a flagpole here with a flag in front of our community building. Is there? Is there?
And the flag was on it, but the road tore, and then with bad weather, we just never put it up until
Okay.
the weather
You
changed.
know, I'd like to see us, I love flagpoles. Get an internal, maybe a 30-foot, 40-foot internal halyard flagpole, white fiberglass. It would look sharp. The ropes on the inside, you don't have to worry about. Just something, 40-foot flagpole.
And I would, go ahead. Here, you have the table.
Yeah, so of course, we want to look at the roof.
Okay.
So it doesn't fall in on us. It doesn't mean we're spending money. It's just, these are goals.
Sure.
And of course, the one thing I want in this town is more police.
Yeah.
That can be a short-term or a long-term goal for us. So
More police.
there's 4 that I gave you.
How about, this is small, not for your list. If you could make it a point to get a new light out here
So
by the next meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really dark there and people could fall down.
And I've talked to Leroy about that. He was supposed to come put it in, but it's like.
I know, is it something you could put up?
I don't know. I don't know how that's wired out there, but he has the light.
We'll keep on him. I know it, these,
I'll give him a call tomorrow and
Okay.
just see. It's really dark.
that's right. So we'll have our meetings in the day.
Anybody else?
The one I would add is, and I know you brought it up before, is eventually we're gonna have to start looking at storm drains and that flow.
To kick that can down the road so far.
Police SUV, we really want to get them in an SUV. We could get rid of the cars,
Jonathan Winters.
but we really do want a police SUV. We definitely need to do a storm drain review, mapping, cleaning, the whole bit. There's money out there for those sort of things. I'll be honest, long-term, I don't like the police station down there for lots of reasons. It's not nice down there, not very welcoming. If people want to give tips, which is how they resolve a lot of issues, it's right on 219. I mean, they're on public display. I would love to see us move the police station down to where they keep the cars, where Brian has his place. Do we own the yard, the grass beside that building? Do we own that?
Yeah.
So maybe if we can't get enough equipment out of there, maybe we could put up another shed for some equipment, even if it's over there across from the ambulance building. Maybe we could get a grant to move some equipment out of there and create another office and evidence room, I would love to see the police down there where the cars are. It's private and get them out of down there.
On kind of that note, not to cut anybody off, when you said about one of our issues with our emergency plan comes up every time we go through this, is we don't have the sand and the sand storage. Is that something, that's probably something that we should do though?
We do have some.
Do we have the sand?
We had talked about that issue.
Okay.
Use of sand, we also we can use the gravel stuff to fill out the sandbags. But yeah, we had talked about that issue before.
The volleyball court, you can take the sand from that. There's a lot of sand in there.
Yeah, at that point, you'll be probably getting a hold of Keystone Lime and getting a truck in and.
Okay. I just.
Do we really need, with 2 officers, now I agree, it'd be nice to get more officers, but I was down in the shed, we have 3 police vehicles. They all work. I mean,
Are
do we,
Are you saying not to get a police SUV?
I'm saying, I don't think we need we have one. Why do we need another police SUV?
So we would get rid of the 3rd vehicle. And so the police vehicles, from my understanding, they have big engines, they're rear wheel drive. So take them up Kathleen Hill on a snowy night.
Is that true, Brian?
No, the Dodge is 4-wheel drive.
The car?
Charger is all-wheel drive. The Charger, and then the Ford, they don't run, and that's front-wheel drive with studs.
I think they would like to have a bigger, heavier 4-wheel drive SUV. The police have come to me several times. The mayor would like to see them have an SUV, second SUV, if we can get a grant for it.
Yeah, grant would be one thing.
We should get rid of them before they get 200,000 miles on them, like the Ford. I don't know how many miles that has, but
I just looked, and I can't remember right off. It's not a lot, but
I'd like to see that building cleared out or like get rid of the sweeper. I'm sure there's
yeah,
other
I
stuff.
mean, there's stuff in there that we.
I want to come down. I've never been in there.
It's not that bad.
It's not bad.
I want to
but
come down. I'm going to stop down and walk through.
But getting that sweeper out of there, there's room for everything, for our trucks. You guys, the floor's nice and clean. You have it swept up nice.
Well, it isn't right now. It's because
Well,
of
but-
the trucks in the winter time.
And one other thing that was brought up to me today, somebody expressed an interest that works around here. What we're doing with the mini split they took out. He would be willing to make an offer on it. What are we doing with that mini split? Where is it?
It's in the stairwell.
Okay. Could we put that on the agenda for next month and put that out to bid?
In the pavilion,
Yeah.
it could work. Yeah, the only thing that's down right now is the fan.
Something to think about.
Could you get a price on somebody installing it down there and what we would need to do that? Because I don't know if it has a compressor, if it's all self-contained or how that works.
I think everything's there. I mean, it's.
It has the outdoor and indoor unit.
Yeah, it was only there, it was only in for what, 3 months?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, folks, let's one quick round. Yes, sir.
I misspoke my.
2 minutes.
I don't even need that. Farmer's market season is not May through September, it's June through September. My apologies. I was tapping too long today.
Correction will be noted. Let's run around the table here real quick, and then if there's nothing else, we'll get out of here. Patty, last words.
Oh, the only thing is, I'll have on my list to work on that ARPA grant funds to close that out.
Do you want to also put on the agenda negotiating committee for the workers?
Yeah.
And those who are on the negotiating committee, Patty, maybe you could get a copy of this, your contract, and give to them, and just, we'll have a little report on that, a very preliminary report at the next meeting. Clarence?
I have nothing.
Jeff?
Oh, yeah, just one other thing.
Lori Miller said that, somebody needed a Band-Aid, and put enough in the building here. Want to see what everybody think about getting a first aid kit in the hallway, put up beside the AED.
I think we should get one.
Yeah, I think that's.
Tom?
There used to be one, but I don't know what happened.
Just continue working on this building is my goal. Try to make it look a little better.
I'm with you, Tom. That's all I have. Mr. Solicitor.
Nothing.
Maybe get a new
Bob.
solicitor.
Hopefully
Any
a prettier
final
one.
thoughts?
I do.
Hopefully a prettier one.
I recently went to the newly elected municipal officials training. It was very informative. I'd like to thank the borough and the community for allowing me to attend. Doesn't mean I'm an expert, but it just broadened me a little bit. And I brought Jeff the same packet so he can look at it. And I went to the 250th presentation at the Somerset Courthouse on January 23rd. The speakers there talking about the history of Somerset. And I brought some signs to put in the yard when the snow goes away. And I gave all that to Patty.
Anything else? You have
That's it.
something?
I thank you for taking that because I have very few people, and I know being elected and being elected official is not easy or simple. But the more of those classes you can take and the more knowledge you get, the more effective you can be. And it's just, yeah, so.
And what I learned from them is if you make an extra payment of like, I know you make a payment up to be a member of the association each year, but they said if you make, I think they said $450 more, then it's cheaper for the members to go to the trainings if there's a fee for them. Some of them, there's no fee, but it would be a lower, like if we had paid that $450, for me to go to that training would have been $62.50, not $125. So that's something to think about as well.
Karen?
I love the Boroughs Association. Our next meeting is at the Country Club. I think it's on March 17th or whatever. I'll be sending out those invitations soon. I encourage people to go. You learn how municipalities do things. We always have good speakers. And I was actually invited to Hershey to speak at the state convention in June. We're going to talk about how municipalities can be prepared for like the event we had. So I think Joel and I are both going to be invited to go to that and speak. So it's kind of exciting.
And Brian. Okay, folks, it is 8:19 and 10 seconds. Could we have a motion to adjourn? Are you making a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Bob and Jeff. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Live his life.